The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola, everyone, and welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll celebrate Pride Month right here in the Bronx when we learn more about the first annual LGBT Bronx Expo. After that, we'll be talking about NuevaYorkinos, a visual digitized archive dedicated to documenting the NYC Latinx experience traveling back in time. Then we'll get some fitness body tips, bringing body health awareness with the fitness and wellness program, Body by Tamika. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And lastly, R&B group sensation Exit 21 joins the show and is ready to shine bright in this week's Open Artist Spotlight. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online, that is, and tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget to follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, LinkedIn, and Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. All right, so as you know, it's Pride Month and the first Bronx LGBT Expo is coming your way. An expo designed to bring local businesses, entrepreneurs, talent, and artists together to create dialogue of healing while celebrating World Pride 2019 and the 50th anniversary of Stonewall. And joining us to tell us more, please welcome the Bronx LGBT Expo co-founder and creator of the White Shirt Project, Jose Ramon, and the Queen of the Bronx herself, Apollonia Cruz. Woo! I know, I was like, where's the drum rolls? Where's the drum rolls? Jiggle the rainbow.
I know, in full bloom.
In full bloom.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, welcome, and thank you for being here, and thank you for all the wonderful work you guys are doing in the Bronx. Jose, let's start with you. You know, you're no stranger to our gas. Last year we did the White Shirt Project, and this year you've expanded the White Shirt Project into the LGBT Expo. So one of the things I do want to bring into light, and the reason I opened up mentioning that it's also an expo of healing is I know that your mission is to bring mental health awareness into light. So let's talk a bit about just, I guess, the inspiration behind the expo.
Sure. So this is what happened. I wanted to bring a mental health component to a venue. Impossible to do in the Bronx. No venue wanted to be attached to a mental health project. So I had to create one. So this is the whole progress between the White Shirt Project, the two white shirts, knocking on doors, and then the Bronx LGBT Expo.
It's just very surprising that nobody wanted to associate themselves with the mental mental health activity and or because it's really a huge factor within the United States in general, never mind a specific community. And so Apollonia, pardon, right? I'm so used to calling you Apple. I know, but you've been in the Bronx Pride community hosting these events together. So how did you decide to come together?
Well, Joe gave me the invitation
to
be part of it, and I said yes. And I'm the producer director of the 8th Annual Bronx Pride Festival and Health Fair, Cortona Park, on Saturday, July 13th. I took that Pride I took it over when Bronx Community Pride Center shut down. I saved the festival in 2 weeks. After being a co-host for close to 10 years, I said, I'm not going to let the festival die. And I did that. I took it over to this very day. So when Joe was talking to me about the expo, I'm like, oh, awesome. That's what we need in the Bronx. We need something else, especially in June.
In June, right,
Yes,
because yours is
exactly.
in July.
Mine's in July.
Right, so it's great. It makes sense for you to come together. Now, just going back to this mental health awareness and this mental health and consciousness and just whatever it is that you're going to share with us with regards to, I guess, the panels or I don't know if you have things being facilitated. How important do you feel it is, not only for the community, just for us as a society? And I'm still very surprised to hear that nobody wanted to attach themselves to it.
Yeah, well, let's take mental health stigma, right? Mental illness. That has a stigma all by itself. Now, add people that don't want to be associated with it, and now we have another kind of stigma. The funny thing that happened is that throughout this, I went on the board for the New York City Health and Hospitals. They're going to have a summit in September. The summit is about stigma. So here it is. Everything came from full circle, where the main thing this year, the main thing that's been on everybody's mouths is how we've been marginalized, the stigma behind it, everything that's attached to it on a negative, in a negative way. I wanted to change that.
Right.
I wanted to bring that to light. There's, I think, 61 million people suffering from anxiety and depression. And this is around the world. It's the leading cause of mental illness.
It's becoming a
Yeah.
common diagnosis.
Yeah.
It's kind of like as a matter of fact. So that's why I'm surprised. Now, just going back to Stonewall now, right? And acknowledging that 50th anniversary and just incorporating this consciousness into it, right? Because when we think of pride, everybody's about celebrating, their liberation and their freedom and just, their community. But there's also this other aspect that I'm glad you guys are bringing into light. And I'm sorry, Apollonia, I don't know if you want to, he, her, she, they, we.
Call me whatever you want to call me.
All right.
Call me Mami Chula.
All right, fine. I'm going to call you Mommy Chula from your phone, okay? Rainbow.
In full bloom.
In full bloom.
She can't take it.
I can. As soon as you came in, I was like, my eyes are blinded. Mucho colores. De colores. All right, we're going to get back to the interview. Right? This is what happens when we all get
I
together.
know.
But let's talk about the itinerary for the
Yes.
day.
Sure.
The agenda, right?
So doors open at 10 o'clock. The mental health conference starts at 10:30. We're going to open up with the introduction to the project, why it took place, what happened, the whole process. Then we'll open up into panels. So there'll be discussions on mental health regarding trans, regarding now the current thing that we wanted to incorporate was trans suicide, trans murders, stigmas behind mental illness, drug addiction, HIV. So we're going to have a whole bunch of professionals really having this type of interactive dialogue throughout the first half. The second half will be a transition from that to our Apollonia cruise.
Right?
Hour.
You
I'm
want
gonna
to
have
share?
my
Yeah, she's like, I
segment.
want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that one.
I'm gonna have my segment, and
Uh-huh.
I want to add that at all of my events that I'm producing, because they are my events that I'm producing for the community. People thought I was producing it for someone else. No, my personal events are mine. I'm helping Joe. I'm going to be hosting an hour segment. Then I'm going to be managing around, helping him out. But both of our events, we're honoring. Look, I'm going to show you who we're honoring. We're honoring the trans community because. Pride isn't pride without the trans community. So I put the trans flag to let the people know that we are gonna honor them. I hire the trans community all the time to be my MCs at all my events, and the trans community is part of the LGBT.
All right, so I just want to be clear about what you're clarifying, right?
Yes.
So what you're basically establishing is that for anybody who's watching, who has attended your events, all of those events have been produced by you independently.
Exactly.
Got it. And so
We need the help from the community. The help
Right,
of the
well,
community
well,
are
of
my
course.
sponsors.
Right,
I'm
got
not
it.
being sponsored by no major corporation. Community donations, but the events are mine.
Got it. I got it. And I just want to clarify that
because-
because it's something that you've committed yourself to for the
Yes.
past 10 years and plus, right?
Yes.
And so now you've partnered up with Jose, right? And you're doing this second component to this expo that
Right.
is health and consciousness in the
Yes.
morning, and then in the afternoon it's celebration con a la Apolonia.
And then and then there's a third section.
Oh,
Yes.
and there's a third
Which
one.
There's
is
more.
the reception. So the reception is from 4 to 8. There we're going to have a whole slew of invitees that are performers, dancers, singers, and that's going to be pretty interesting. We also have a chef, a guest celebrity chef.
Yeah, so I'm
Chef Margie.
Chef
Nice.
Margie, which is going
Yeah.
to be my chef for Bronx Pride Crotona.
Nice.
So
All right.
she's catering.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so it sounds like a full day.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
anybody's invited.
Everybody.
Everybody's invited, and we thank you for coming here and sharing it with our viewers. And happy Pride to,
Thank
to
you.
both
Give
of
them
you.
the
Happy Pride.
location, the
Hey, hey,
Oh,
location.
the location.
Oh, right, the location.
Yeah,
real
okay,
quick.
so this is June 22nd. It's going to be at 111 Bruckner Boulevard in the Bronx.
Got it.
And the name of the
Okay.
location?
Bronx Barks.
Bronx Barks. All right, all right. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
coming. And
Thank you.
again, once again, you guys, you're all invited to the Bronx LGBT Expo, which is taking place once again on Saturday, June 22nd from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Bronx Barks, located at 111 Bruckner Boulevard. And for more information, visit BronxLGBTExpo.com. We're taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll learn about a digitized archive dedicated to the Latinx experience. Don't go anywhere.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind. Love is patient.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. New York City, the place we're at and the place we love, is filled with countless Latino and Caribbean immigrants who migrated to the States to create a better life for their families. And our next guest created a platform allowing these stories to be shared through images in a way one might find themselves traveling through a time capsule. The visual digitized platform depicts New York City over time and the Latino community's contribution to our urban culture. And joining us to tell us the inspiration behind this project, we welcome NuevaYorkinos founder and co-creator Jali Alessandra Brown Cepeda. Hello. And welcome.
Thank you.
You think you have enough names?
Yeah, no, I need like a couple more, like 5 more. That'll be good.
You do that Latino thing. You're like all of them, right?
All of it.
Not
all
only
of it.
when they're mad at me.
Exactly.
Because you know that's how they do, right? They
Of
call you by
course.
every single name.
Every name.
Every name. That's beautiful. And
Thank you.
welcome and thank you for being here. Let me
Thank
start by
you.
congratulating you on your opening at El Museo del Barrio.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Let's talk about this inspiration and the whole concept of NuevaYorkinos.
So I created NuevaYorkinos this past February when I was in Dominican Republic with my family. And I kind of, like the light bulb flashed on where I saw that there's so many archives and like projects dedicated to very niche communities or to very niche experiences. You have a lot of African art archives. You have a lot of like, you know, old school photography archives. But when you look at like the Latinx community, there's a very big, there's a hole, right? And so you have representation, but it's very West Coast centric and very Chicano centric. And maybe there are, you know, archives out there, but I didn't come across anything that was, you know, representative of me, of my experience, and of us. So I was like, I'll just create it then.
Okay, so these archives that you're referring to, where were you looking that you found this loophole?
Instagram, social media, the internet, but you know, more specifically Instagram, because that really is where people are all the time.
Right,
So.
and that's your generation of communications.
Yeah.
And what I do love about your project is it isn't just about you and your family.
No.
It's about everybody, which makes it inclusive. And I had visited it and saw some of these images, and I can totally feel that sense of going through a photo album, which is it's kind of nostalgic in that form as well, right? We used to get together, go to Abuela's house, and everybody, and it's like, oh, how many times we're gonna look at the same album?
Yeah.
There's just something about going through the album. Like, what does it do for you?
The album is so tangible, and it's something that we're losing touch with, like tangibility in general. Our senses are so like, you know, visual, and like the tactility of the archive and of the photo album and of, you know, like the smell and the plastic covers, like we don't really do that anymore. And so like I personally love those photo albums. I scan my grandparents' photos all the time, which like they're super protective of because they really don't get technology. They're like, no.
I know.
What are you doing?
And meanwhile, you know, like the photo albums, the pegas all brown,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And the plastic is kind of half off, right?
And wrinkled.
You be like, pero, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
It's a different generation, but it's lovely that we can pass it on to the next generation in some form.
Exactly.
Right? So with these images, as you put out your call, what were you looking to capture in your messaging? What is the message that you're really trying to send out?
So there's a few things with NuevaYorkinos that are kind of the mission. One, I really want to show the world, New York, whoever's watching, that Latinidad is not one thing. If you look at media representation, it's very whitewashed. It's very, you know, Eurocentric. No one looks like us. If they look like us, they're secondary characters. We're never in positions of power. And so what I wanted to do was show that, you know, you can, like Latinx identity is not monolithic. You know, just like blackness is not monolithic. It comes in so many forms. So that's one mission. The other mission is to show that, yes, we're a community and like we're so related and like, you know, like we're all like primos and primas, but we're different too. So I wanted to show like that, you know, specificity of like growing up Puerto Rican, growing up Dominican, Mexican in New York City. The other thing I really wanted to show was that, you know, as New York City is gentrified, we have existed, you know, like these are our neighborhoods and our cultural enclaves that we have created. You know, like El Barrio is El Barrio because of Boricuas, you know, Bushwick is Bushwick, Los Sures is Los Sures. And so as we get kicked out and like forcibly displaced, I want to show the newcomers that like, you know, we have existed and that our stories won't be eradicated or like, you know, disintegrated as we move out of the community.
My, oh my, your mama must be proud.
Yeah.
You have to give a shout out to that nurse because, you know, she did a great job raising you. And we thought, oh my gosh, that was lovely and well put.
Thank you.
Right, and it's so important, and it means a lot to me because you're the next generation, and it's important that our stories be told.
Yeah.
And if this is the way we're going to be able to reach the next generation, then, you know, sigue pa'lante with that. That was lovely.
And the other thing, too, is that I want to show that Latinx identity is not necessarily Hispanic identity. And so that's why I allow people from Brazil, from the Brazilian diaspora, to submit their photos. I have Haitian submissions because we are all part of Latin America. And there is kind of this like misconception that like, you know, Latinidad is only Hispanic. That's why I also translate the captions. They're in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. I don't know Creole yet.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that. But before we go, we're talking primarily about the virtual experience,
Yes.
but there is a live experience that people can interact with.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that before we go, because it's up at El Museo del Barrio
Yes.
up until August, right?
No, up until it'll be up for 2 weeks, but then
Okay.
I'm doing an open call with them.
Okay.
For specific photos from El Barrio and stories from 1969 to 2005 that document the neighborhood, the changes of the neighborhood, and then we're going to have like a little exhibition in the fall of those photos.
But I also understand there's an installation
Yes,
there.
there
where
is.
There's
Yeah.
a table. It's kind of like
Yeah.
an old school living room environment, and there's a
Mhm.
photo booth where people can go take photos.
Yes. So what I did was, to launch our collaboration that's called #MiBarrio. We wanted to do like a photo booth, and we were, like saying, okay, what do we do? Like, do we do this room, that room? But I was like, the sala is the spot, to be. And so we have like a kitchen, kind of like table that's in the living room area, and people come and take photos because it's celebrating their 50th anniversary as well of being founded as an institution. So it's pretty awesome.
I noticed, I saw that there was like a bottle of agua florida,
Yeah.
which is symbolic.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say I saw missing.
The plastic covers.
Yes, the plastic
we
covers.
We didn't have time to get them upholstered, the little like yellow chairs, but it was a conversation. Yeah.
So before we go, let's talk about your upcoming event.
Yes.
You have Afro.
Yeah.
What is it? Afro.
It's called Afro Waves, and
Afro
it's
Waves.
at the Caribbean Cultural Center tomorrow from 6 to 7:15. And what I'm doing is allowing people to come in and bring their photos and stories and have like an on-site activation of this like virtual space that I have online.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shali. Oh my gosh, that was wonderful. And people can just submit to you for
Yes.
the NuevaYorkinos,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, so I just want to share with you guys, if you are interested in sharing your story or your family stories of the Latino New York City experience, you can submit your photo via Instagram at NuevaYorkinos, or you can email her at hi@NuevaYorkinos.com. Once again, I'm going to repeat that, hi@NuevaYorkinos.com. All right, we're taking a quick break, but coming up, we'll talk about fitness and healthy body goals for the summer season. We'll be right back.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, we're always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. Our next guest is a personal trainer and life coach that is all about transforming the lives and bodies of her clients through her fitness and wellness program, Body by Tamika. Her mission is to empower and equip individuals with the tools they need to reach their individualized fitness, health, and body goals. And joining us to share her story, along with some fitness tips, we welcome Body by Tamika founder, Tamika Harden. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, right on time. Actually, we're going to have you back on right before the end of the year.
Okay.
Just to kind of reignite everybody. But let's talk a little bit about your story and what inspired you to be this savior.
Oh, gosh. Well, Growing up, during my adolescence, I was overweight. My mom is a fabulous cook, and I was the taste tester, and I knew what was missing what. And it was a struggle for me during, being young and overweight, and always being told, you need to lose weight. So the moment I was able to do something about it, I was 16 years old. I joined my first fitness club, Lucille Roberts, and I lost 40 pounds. And I was excited. It was the first time that I was able to do something about being overweight. And shortly after that, they hired me to run the facility. So at the age of 19, I began to help other women transform their bodies. And it was exciting. I was motivated. I was confident. It was the first time that I've ever felt like that, and I fell in love with that.
Well, here's a question, right? You made that your life, and it's wonderful that you found your passion in doing that. How does one create a lifestyle of this interest, right, of such interest, to just be habitual? Because I think that's where the struggle lies as we age.
Absolutely. The first thing I would suggest is setting out a goal. Okay, I want to look better. I want to feel more confident. Whatever that goal is, okay, let's put it on paper. Let's start with that. Then seek the help and the support you need to accomplish that goal, whether it's an accountability buddy, whether it's joining a local Zumba class. There's so many resources out there now, from very inexpensive to free to affordable. So I would say, state the goal, put it on paper, put it on your fridge, put it on the mirror, wherever it needs to be so it's visible, and then seek the help that you need to get it done.
So you said two very important things. One is accountability.
Yes.
Right? That accountability partner.
Yes.
And then the other thing was have fun, right?
Yes.
Because
enjoy
when you mention Zumba, the first thing that comes to mind is having fun.
Yes.
Now, I said opening up at the beginning of the year as such, right? Because that's what happens to us, right?
Oh, yeah,
we're already
New Year's
conditioned.
resolution.
Well, we're right. We're conditioned to go, okay, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to lose weight, right? And then a month goes by and you're like, okay, I'm done with that.
I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm like, it was a thought.
Yes.
And then the next year it's the same resolution.
Yes.
How does one remain consistent?
Again, it goes back to finding something fun and finding support. I mean, like, if you think about everything, whether it's education, whatever it is, support is usually what helps you to be successful. I think where a lot of people fail, they try to take on this journey alone. First of all, a baker needs a recipe, right? They don't just go in the kitchen and start throwing stuff in a pan and expect to have the most delicious cake. You need a recipe. You need a plan. So I think too many people, they started on their own and they have no clue. I'm not going to just go and do my own makeup and want to look flawless. That's not my area of expertise. People need help. Find help. Don't be afraid to invest in help. Or there are a lot of, like I said, resources out there that are free. Even when I first started teaching years ago, I was teaching at the library. That was free to the public. So I think people are going about it the wrong way. Spend some time, invest a little bit, do what you have to do so that way you can be successful and you won't be discouraged.
Right, and so that brings me to the dialogue that occurs between the mind and the body, right?
Yes.
What's that conversation that needs to happen? And I say this mainly because people are quick to go and spend money to be out on a Friday night partying, dancing, doing whatever it is. But then when it comes to investing in themselves, it becomes like, I don't know if I can afford that.
Sometimes I'm pulling teeth.
Right, well, that's a conversation. That's an internal dialogue that needs to be addressed.
Which is important. So my goal, because I'm excited about this. So when people come to me, I can get the person who doesn't really want to invest, who doesn't really, they're not into it, I can get them excited. So really what my goal is just to help them with that process. And I look at it, I tell them, you're investing in yourself. You're making a deposit that is going to pay you back tenfold. And I get them to kind of understand that concept, because that's really what it is. And there's levels to everything, right? So we start out with a small investment, and then we grow it and we grow it. And so you're like, I'm feeling fabulous, I'm sexy, I'm all of the above, and I don't care how much it costs to maintain this because it's that important to me. But we start with a small investment.
Okay, and in closing, how do you recommend that one even start?
I would say just start. Don't overthink the process. So what that may look like is setting out a goal. I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to get back into those jeans that used to fit. Like, just set a small goal and just start. So now you can take it to the internet. You can Google things. You can follow me, bodybytamika.com, Instagram, social media. Find someone that inspires you to just get started and start. The rest of it will start piecing together.
And so, for you, in your services, before we go, I just want to share with everyone all the different programs that you've implemented in that consciousness, right? Because it isn't just training, it isn't just having a body coach, it's also these other factors in taking care of your body, which is why I opened up with having the conversation, the dialogue between the mind and the body. Because it isn't just about training, you have to be kind to the body as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
It needs therapy as well. And then some of us have problem areas as well.
Yes.
And so let's talk about your services, because I know you have all these different components, which I know is really well thought out.
Yes, because I looked at the industry and people are into aesthetic procedures. People want it faster. People are struggling. They've tried everything and it's not working. So there's so many, because of technology, there's so many safe, non-invasive ways and invasive ways. And I am here to tell, especially mostly my clients are women, that it's okay to seek surgery. It's okay to seek aesthetic alterations. However, I want to teach you on how to be healthy from the inside out first, and then everything else that you want to add to it is okay. So I offer both services. I offer body contour services, which are non-invasive, laser liposuction treatments, wood sculpting massages to trim the waist down, break down back fat. I can do it all. And I also offer fitness programs, because when I put the two together, I'm able to help women feel confident again, and I'm able to help with problem areas that the treadmill won't always fix.
Right.
And I think in this day and age, it's okay to have that conversation. It's okay if you've had 3 kids and you've tried everything and they cut you from top to bottom and it's not going down and you want a tummy tuck. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be shy about it. But I teach my clients on how to prepare, how to lose weight, how to strengthen the muscles, how to eat healthy, how to maintain your results before you get them and after. And that is an inclusive program that I offer.
Beautiful. Awesome.
So I can get you snatched from top to bottom, whichever way you want, because you deserve that. And if that's what you desire, why not?
Oh my gosh!
Right?
I'm all excited. I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes. Meet my best
when
friend,
do we
everybody.
start? When do we
Tamika
start?
Harden. Woo!
Let's go.
You got me snapping.
Let's
I'm
go.
like, yes. Let's go. And you guys, thank you.
Good.
You guys, for a consultation and or to participate in one of Tamika Harden's fitness program, all you got to do is visit bodybytamika.com. That's right. Do it.
Yes, and the consultation in the first session is free of charge, so you have nothing to lose by coming to see me.
Lovely. You heard that? It's free of charge, so why not? Take advantage. All right, we got to take a quick break because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
We begin our look at sports with 2 teams of destiny. That's likely the only way to describe the newest NBA and NHL champions. First, the Toronto Raptors. 5 years ago, Kawhi Leonard paced the San Antonio Spurs over the 2-time champions, the Miami Heat, of course. On Thursday night, the superstar became a super team killer when he finished off the dynastic Golden State Warriors' 2-year run as champs and again earned the Bill Russell Trophy for MVP. The Toronto Star capped an historic postseason by becoming the first player in history to win Finals MVP with a team from each conference. Leonard earned the honor following the Raptors' 114-110 Game 6 victory to close out a 4-2 series win. Lost in the shuffle of all of this was the incredible play of Golden State's true warrior, pun intended here, Klay Thompson. Thompson left the game in the midst of another great performance in the finals. He had 30 points in 32 minutes, going 8 for 12 from the field and pulling down 5 rebounds. But it wasn't enough as the Raptors edged the Warriors down the stretch without Thompson. He tore his ACL in his knee, but not before coming back, sinking 2 free throws and playing one more defensive stop. In the end, it wasn't in the cards. Well, it was in the cards for the Raptors, but not, of course, for the Warriors. A really, really good team, Toronto, that didn't play the best of the Golden State Warriors. More perspective on this in the C list. On the NHL ice, the St. Louis Blues story might even be more remarkable. They literally went from worst to first in the same season. It's January 2nd, and the St. Louis Blues are the worst team in the NHL. They fired their coach 43 days earlier, but haven't improved under their new interim skipper. But something clicked from that day forward, and on Wednesday night, the Blues ended a 52-year drought with their Game 7 win in Boston, final score 4-1. From January 3rd through the end of the regular season, the Blues went 29-10-5, unlocking a north-south forechecking game that eventually was like a wrecking ball swinging through the Stanley Cup playoffs. Ryan O'Reilly was the hero. He's been rather good at that throughout the playoffs, and especially in the Stanley Cup final. For that, he won the Conn Smythe Trophy for MVP. O'Reilly scored 8 goals and 23 points in 26 games to help lead St. Louis to a championship. He only got better as the stakes got higher, too, scoring a goal in each of the final 4 contests of the playoffs. The last player to score a goal in 4 consecutive Stanley Cup final games, Wayne Gretzky, back in 1985. Another serious option for that award was goalie Jordan Binnington. He was unreal in net. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Injuries really destroyed Golden State's chances of three-peating. Klay Thompson's torn ACL will likely keep him out for a good portion of next season. Fellow teammate and star Kevin Durant was the casualty in Game 5. Durant confirmed that he suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon during Monday's victory. He made the announcement on his Instagram account Wednesday, adding that he underwent surgery right here in New York. The Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers are engaged in separate trade talks with the New Orleans Pelicans for All-Star Anthony Davis, league sources told ESPN. The Lakers' number 4 pick has been discussed as a trade chip to help the Pelicans acquire a high-level player in multi-team deals. 3-time All-Star point guard and Bronx native Kemba Walker said he'd be willing to work with the Hornets and would take less, imagine that, than the Supermax $221 million contract he's eligible to receive if he signs with Charlotte. The Hornets can offer Walker, their all-time leading scorer, a 5-year contract worth up to that amount. Other NBA teams can only offer a 4-year deal worth about $140 million. Boston Celtics star Kyrie Irving is changing representation and is expected to partner with Roc Nation Sports. Irving parted ways with his longtime agent on Wednesday, clearing the way for him to ultimately work with Jay-Z's Roc Nation prior to the start of NBA free agency on June 30th. Irving, a 6-time All-Star, will become an unrestricted free agent. League sources say he remains intensely interested in the Brooklyn Nets. Good news there. And a landmark appointment for the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers have hired University of California, Berkeley women's coach Lindsey Gottlieb to be an assistant coach. Gottlieb, a Final Four and 7-time NCAA tournament head coach for the Golden Bears, is the first women's collegiate head coach recruited to an NBA staff. In the octagon, UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov shot down the possibility of a Conor McGregor rematch at a news conference in London on Wednesday morning. Nurmagomedov, who was promoting his upcoming fight with interim lightweight champion Dustin Poirier, questioned why McGregor merited a second chance at the belt. Nurmagomedov and Poirier will fight for the unified title in the main event of UFC 242 in Abu Dhabi. Poirier was, he's won 4 in a row, Rhina. Most recently, a unanimous decision against featherweight champion Max Holloway. You weren't paying attention. Nurmagomedov has not lost in 27 professional fights. He submitted McGregor at UFC 229 last October by 4th round neck crank. The winner of Nurmagomedov versus Poirier, I'm going to neck crank you, yes, is expected to face Tony Ferguson, who is riding a 12-fight win streak. He defeated Donald Cerrone, the Cowboy, at UFC 238 last weekend by 2nd round TKO. In boxing, Tom Schwartz has the unexpected opportunity of a lifetime as the opponent selected to challenge lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury on Saturday at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas. The bout marks Fury's much-anticipated return from his epic draw with title holder Deontay Wilder on December 1st in Los Angeles in a fight many believe Fury deserved to win, despite suffering 2 knockdowns, including a heavy-duty one in the 12th round that he miraculously survived. In baseball, speaking of survival, Boston great David Ortiz is doing much better. Current Red Sox infielder Eduardo Nunez, a former Yankee, lamented the fact that Ortiz was shot in their native Dominican Republic, calling the incident an international shame. Nunez, who is friends with Ortiz and shares an agent with the former Red Sox star, told ESPN's Marley Rivera that he spoke with Ortiz on the phone Tuesday, less than 2 days after the shooting at a club in Santo Domingo. Although Nunez said he was happy to hear that Ortiz is recovering, he said Dominican players feel really embarrassed that a legend like Ortiz was shot in their homeland. Police in the Dominican Republic have arrested 5 people in the shooting on Wednesday and said the plot was more complex than originally thought. The plot to kill Ortiz, a national hero in the DR, involved 2 men on a motorcycle working with 2 other groups of people in cars. On to better news, the New York Yankees have signed first-round draft pick Anthony Volpe, a high school shortstop from nearby New Jersey, for a bonus of $2.7 million. Volpe, who grew up a Yankee fan, was introduced to the media Monday at Yankee Stadium before the team's scheduled Subway Series against the New York Mets was rained out. He met manager Aaron Boone and players in the clubhouse and says the whole experience has become a surreal dream come true. In the NFL, the Oakland Raiders will be must-see TV in their final season before moving to Las Vegas, and it will be documented like never before as the team announced Tuesday that it will star in HBO's Hard Knocks come August. In 13 editions of the series, the past 3 teams have missed the playoffs. The last team to make the playoffs was the 2015 Houston Texans. The most wins in a season, you ask? How about 11 by the 2010 New York Jets and the 2013 Cincinnati Bengals? The Jets, speaking of them, they have a new GM. Joe Douglas stepped up to the podium with a big smile and plenty of pleasure this week. The 42-year-old Douglas paid his dues for years as an assistant in the front office in Baltimore. He was also in the front offices in Chicago and Philadelphia. He's now the main man for the first time, and he assured Jets fans that he's more than up to the task. In golf, we begin play at the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. Brooke Koepka will be after something extremely special this week. If he wins, he would be the first player in more than a century to win 3 consecutive U.S. Open titles. In motorsport, the MotoGP World Championship turns 70 years old this weekend. And in the U.S. Women's World Cup, Team USA once again looks like the team to beat. Every good story needs a good villain, and the Women's World Cup in France might have just discovered its very own. The reigning champions and the #1 side in the world got straight down to business in its opener against Thailand, ranked number 34, with a record-breaking 13-0 win. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a final thought on those Golden State Warriors. I definitely did not see that coming. Ironically, I believe last July when Kawhi Leonard went to Toronto in a trade that they could easily end up in the NBA Finals out of the East. Of course they could. I just never thought a team from the East could knock off those Golden State Warriors. That's the thing, though. Not to take anything away from the Raptors, but Golden State really ended up defeating itself. Injuries did the Warriors in, not the Raptors. But that's the beauty of sports and playing the games. You have to be healthy enough to win it all, and sometimes things just roll your way. The Raptors got tons of support from their bench and their role players, the same in the Stanley Cup Finals for the St. Louis Blues. Winning a championship takes stars, of course. It takes the soul of the collective, and it takes, to a large degree, a lot of luck. At least that's the case with teams that could win for 1 year. I'm not too sure if Toronto will become a dynasty, but I am sure that the Warriors for the past 5 years have been one, and the team's chances next season don't look very good, but I'm hoping Clay and KD stay and give it another run the following year. Their wills to win gave many haters newfound respect for a dynasty that was, for the most part, hated around the NBA. Meanwhile, for the Raptors, winning the title proves that any franchise could really do it. They worked their way up the last few seasons and made the big deal that pushed them over the top. Kawhi Leonard. It was an incredible series, one that I did not want to see end. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Maybe you can make retirement happen.
After all,
You made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
I love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Back to Open. Hailing from Long Island, R&B group Exit 21 has captured the eyes of many with the musical style of what they call trap and B. With their social media numbers rising, these four young men continue to live out their dreams as a dynamic group, bringing a new sound to R&B. And joining us to tell us more about their journey and their upcoming EP, please welcome Exit 21.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for being here. You hear me? I'm like on the car. I'm like, Exit 21! Right? I'm assuming that's where the name came from.
Definitely.
It did, right? Long Island boys. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your journey hailing all the way from Long Island. Thank you for coming here to the BX.
No, of course.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. The Bronx is home, by the way, too. You know, my brother and I, my dad have a non-for-profit organization teaching kids how to read music and play drums. So, you know, we always been involved in the music, and shout outs to the South Bronx, you know what I'm saying, out here for the out here.
Renaissance.
Well, Renaissance EMS has been here. Yeah, we
He was here too. Yeah, I know.
Were you here? Were you here at that age?
I was.
Oh my gosh, I feel old.
Yeah, wonderful time.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome. See, I didn't recognize you, right? Because you must have been like this big, right? With your father.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's what's up. And now you've formed this group, and you're
Brought
out
my
there.
team with me.
Yeah. You brought your team now, right? Okay, I'm looking really looking forward to meeting everyone, because I'm like, all right, now let's see how we've expanded this positive messaging, because I know Renaissance EMS is all about that. So who wants to start?
Well, I'll give you a background. My name is Ron E.
Uh-huh.
My name be Smooth.
What's going on, y'all? Showtime.
My name is Sean Fox, and we are
Exit 21,
as you know.
Nice.
Just to do a little breakdown, it's my twin brother. You know what I mean? We look nothing alike, but we are twins.
Interesting.
Showtime's our cousin, real cousin. You know, a lot of people be saying, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin." They be fronting.
He's your blood cousin.
Yeah, that's our cousin.
It's real.
And then Sean is, you know, somebody we really grew up with from like long time ago. He was throwing parties. We was pulling up, playing ball, everything. You know what I mean?
Took him under the wing.
You took him under the wing. So how long ago was that?
Being friends or as a group?
I did want. All right, let's start with friends, because you guys look like you grew up together.
Yeah, maybe friends like 9 years ago. Well, with Sean.
Right, with Sean. Sean, you're the new addition. Yeah.
Showtime,
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle. He the new piece of the puzzle.
All right, here's the missing piece of the puzzle. All right, so let's talk about the puzzle. Who does what?
We all do everything together, like, to be honest. Like,
right, but everybody comes with their own talent.
Well,
like,
shout out to my man Showtime.
Specialty.
I do a lot of the choreography.
He does
You
a
do
choreography.
He's a choreographer. I do the marketing and the branding.
The marketing and the branding.
Shout out to
Huge
Fashion Nova, by the
component.
way.
Yeah. And we do the music, right?
And you do the music.
I play piano,
Right,
drums.
you were raised in
I
it.
do drums, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually showed us, harmonies and falsettos.
Right.
We just sang. We didn't know all the, things to it.
We did class before we
put the sauce to it.
They put the
we
sauce
did anything
to it,
else. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, fellas.
That's awesome, though, because you all feed each other, right? Because here you are creating the music, you're doing the dancing. I mean, you're singing too and stuff, but it all loans itself. And then you have to go out there and you have to caption it and put it out there in visual and basically storytelling messaging, right?
Yeah.
So it all feeds each other.
Shout out to my management that helps me out, makes it a little easier for me.
Shout out to Fashion Over too for the drip. They lace
Yeah.
us.
Big facts, sponsored by yours truly.
Sponsored by Fashion Over
Men.
Men.
Catch this. We're waiting for that next package. You know what I mean? Just putting that out there. On the way.
Oh my God. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Take your time. Yeah, I do have the address. You know what I mean? We're just waiting.
All right, so I know you're going to give us a taste of what's to come, but let's talk a little bit about the EP.
Oh man, I'm so blessed.
Talk about the name.
Show
Yeah, it's called Take One. It's basically about our lives and, take one. Like, our life's a movie. A lot of people been waiting for this project. We wrote it ourselves, produced it, shout out to our production team. And you're just going to know about our lifestyle. We've been through everything from drama to females to street. And we just want to let y'all know, we love too. Because, we look like F-boys, they say. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word, but...
Right, no,
so they say we look like players.
We all got the message, trust
They say
me.
we look like players, and we want to show them that we love too. We want to make, fall in love look cool again.
Right.
So,
yeah.
That, but a lot of people in the music industry, they say like boy groups is like dead. So it's just like Take One. You know what I mean? It's like a rebirth to it. You know what I mean? Because we make it popping. Like we make it cool. We was the first group, honestly, on Instagram to do videos like that. We had a video. We did Pony, like 200 million views on Facebook. Like a lot on Instagram. Yeah. That's really how we got popping.
Yeah, we had, like I said, we didn't
set the blueprint
over this. Yeah, millions of views.
Went to overseas.
Yeah, I know. You guys were in Europe.
Yeah, we went to Europe 3 times. We went to Europe. We went to Amsterdam, Utrecht. We're on our way to London this year. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to International Affairs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just blessed, you know what I mean, for everybody to just see this project, see what we've been working on. Everybody is just showing their whole dynamic in the group. You know what I'm saying? This is our lead man, Falsetto King. You know what I'm saying? Swag dude. And I play my part, you know what I'm saying? So I can't wait for y'all to hear it.
I'm super psyched. I'm all excited like a little girl group. I'm like, yay, they're going to give us a taste. They're going to give us a taste. All right, guys, don't go anywhere because we're going to take a quick break. But then when we return, Exit 21, they're going to give us a taste of their music with a remixed, electrifying performance you don't want to miss. Don't go anywhere.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Hey, welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. Here now to perform 2 songs off their new upcoming EP, Take One. Give it up for Exit 21.
How you doing?
This one's for you, girl. Yeah. It's crazy, I just woke up to your message. I played you, need to grow up, learn my lesson. Claimed you as my angel, you're my blessing. Late nights here without you, got me stressing. Whole lot of thoughts around me, I ain't checking. Got a couple thousand on me, I ain't flexing. Cause money ain't a thing if I can't spend it on you. I still got this ring and I'ma put it on you. Baby, I'll be yours till you already know that. You can tell me anything that I wanna hear. I want you to tell the truth so I know it's real love, right? I want you to turn around and make it disappear. Ain't nobody watching, now you know the coast clear. I need you in my life. Where do I go? What do I do? 'Cause I can't live without your love. Thinking of you makes me feel, like we've got something real.
Y'all ready? Sure. One time. Bend over. Let's go. Feature Safari.
What they say? What they?
Let's go, Ron.
She like, boy, come close to me. Don't move, just stay right there. Me need company. Hey, why you waste, girl? I might stay. You know what I need. This with me, your waist I'll be holding. Need a drink and my towel will be open. Me and you on the floor is a moment. Hey. Love the way your body move like that. Come close and step right back. Send a text, I'ma hit you right back. Yeah. No need to be rude like that. Move like that. Come close and step right back. To the left and just like that. To the right, like just like that. Like move it like that. Like come close, step back. Like and left just like that.
Sure. Let's get it.
I like the way you work. I like the way you move. I wanna see you.
What else?
Bend down and do what you
Let's go.
Bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over. Hey, body move like the ocean.
Yeah.
When you move in slow motion.
What else?
Round and round, keep it going. Love it when you come over. Baby, when I get it right, she gon' ride it.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob. Exit 21, everyone. Move like that.
Hey.
Yes.
Step right back.
Hey.
That's
Yes.
what's up.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Love boys, all right? Love boys, all right? Let's get it right. Exit 21. That's right. Their single Bend Over is now available on all music platforms, including Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, and Amazon. Take One, the EP, will be available later on this month.
Yes,
For
sir.
more information on the group, please be sure to check them out on Instagram at exit21_music. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, and to
Yes,
you,
yes, yes.
our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the Recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor, and happy Father's Day to all the incredible dads out there. Enjoy. All right, we're going to move like that one more time. I think. All right, with music.
Love the way your body moves like that. Come close, then step right back. Send a text, I'ma hit you right back. No need to be rude like that.